we're going to look into today is all about approach to exportation. The approach to exportation is simply some ways anybody can go into the exportation. So how to get started? That's actually what it is all about. Because the truth about exportation business is that export business is ambiguous, and many people have tried to go into the business, but they are having a lot of limitations. So these limitations are some things that we want to avoid, some things that we want to create a way out for each and every one of us. So at the end of this class today, there are some key takeaways that we can go home with. So at the end of this class, you will understand how to get started in exportation business, even though you are a new person, or even though you are just starting right now, or even though you don't have all it takes, but there are some things you can do from where you are, and there are some things that you can also do depending on your level or capacity you are operating on. So you also learn what you can do currently as a new person into exploration business, and also you can learn about the need for partnership with those that can be able to assist you in one way or the other. You will also learn about how to you also learn about how to sell your products directly or indirectly. So when you have all these things in place, you can be able to easily and quickly engage in an exportation business. So right today, the export trade simply is all about moving your product from your country to another country. So this is an international trade that borders has a trade border. So there are some things we need to know. So I'm going to introduce myself once again for new people that have been following us. My name is AK Okoro, or Okoro Nubisi AK. So for the past 4 years, we have been in the exportation business, exporting of non-oil exportation and importation into Nigeria and also across the countries. We have done so many products that we have sent across that the products are even amazing that you may not even think of it. I don't know if you can imagine exporting chinchin and peanuts, coated peanut butter or chips. I don't know, because most people, when they look at all these products, they don't know that Nigerians outside there need those things. Hair creams, these are senator wears. They don't know that those things that are exportable. They don't know even both the slippers that we wear here, palm slippers, they are also exportable. So because one of the challenges is that when you talk about exportation, everybody's mind goes to trailer loads, container loads, but there are some things you can do small. So if only you can understand the categories of exportation and the things you can do from where you are. So this guide is a basic guide to exporting. So it's a discussion. It's going to be a discussion of different approaches that companies or anybody can take in exporting goods and services. So in this model, I'm going to highlight some approaches newbies can start exporting. So one of the approaches you're going to learn here is going to be the methods and the channels that are likely you will use. We have two channels here, two methods, which is A and B. So the common methods of exporting a product are simply by selling directly or selling indirectly. So in selling indirectly, this is where you meet export intermediaries, such as export management companies. These are EMCs, or an export trading company, ETC. They are the ones that assumes the full responsibility for finding you buyers and shipping your products and getting paid. So their responsibility is to find you buyers, ship your product, and they get paid. Some of these export management companies are agencies. They are agents, such as me also. I have an export management company where we deal on our export trade system. What we do is that we help you to find buyers, negotiate the deals. We make the products get to the final buyer destination, and we also get the payments to be paid. And also we do receive products from vendors, because most of the times the importers wants you to offer them credit facilities, but due to you are just starting, how can you be able to offer 90 days credit facility? When your business cannot offer 90 days credit facility, it will pull you out of the market. You will lose the deal. But most of these buyers, they need those facilities. They need for them to pay you with bank guarantee or letter of credit. Most of them hardly will pay cash before you have to export. Some of them will ask you to offer them a credit facility. So what we do in our largest export service is that we look for local vendors that wants to export their products or companies that have a product that we want to export. So when these companies knows that they have a product they want to export, we take this product from those companies and we offer them, and they offer us a credit facility in which we now take the full responsibility of sending this product abroad or to the final destination and then await the payment. Most of the time, we offer these vendors or producers 30 days credit facility if they can offer it. Why most of the time, most of the challenges that most of them are not willing to offer a credit facility. So these are the major challenges. But actually, for anybody that is new to export business, this is based on one of the best approach to get started. For example, you're a producer and you manufacture some certain kind of product, and you don't know yet if the product can be able to have an appeal on the international market. So how will you know that your product will have an appeal on the international market? It's simple. What you do is that you meet these export agents, let them take your product as they are sending this product across, and this product, they keep buying it from you. It has already let you know that your product has an appeal on the international market, and you already have a solid market that your product can easily be sold to. So this method, the agent that engages, most of the time we engage on commission basis, where because we find buyers for you, or a supplier who supplies these products to the agent. So it's very, very important that everybody that is new to exportation to adopt this approach. So some of the methods that someone can also adopt is understanding that the wholesaler or the company, what we do is that as a wholesaler or the company, we take legal possession of those goods and we pay each suppliers depending on our agreed terms. So what we do is this: when we come to your stuff, okay, for instance, there is a current deal right now about palm oil supplies. This palm oil, you are looking at a 25 feet container, and this deal is going to be a returning deal, a recurring deal. That is every month, this deal must be done. So, and one of the challenges that they are offering us, they want us to offer them a credit facility. Now, what do we do? We are sourcing for local vendors that can supply, that can handle the deal. If you can supply and you can give at least a minimum of 30 days credit facility, so we'll take these products from you and we take the legal possession of the goods and ensure that we process all the other documents necessary to export these products across. So, but the negative is that the wholesaler may receive a greater profit margin. What I'm trying to say is this: when a company or people like us, we take your goods and we do the supplies on the agreed term, is beneficial for you also, but it has also a little bad side effect, in the sense that we can make much profit because we take much of the risk necessarily required in the trade. So because of the much of the risk we take, we are in a better position to earn much more profit than you. But despite this option, this is a very big opportunity for new people or small SMEs that are just starting, because through the continuous supply, the new person that is entering into exportation business can earn enough profit that can enable them to prepare their export facility, and at the same time has created a solid supply base. So if a buyer can be able to have this kind of deal across, it will going to enable the buyer, that's the seller, to know that I'm having a solid business and I'm having a solid supply which comes in every month. And with this, this new person that is entering expedition can easily be able to prepare their export facility, get everything that is needed to succeed in the expedition business. So another way that we do this, you can easily export your product is by using e-commerce platforms. If you are using this e-commerce platform, there are e-commerce platforms such as eBay, Amazon, Alibaba. These are e-commerce platforms that are where you can post your products and you can have some buyers in those places. Using large online marketplaces is another variation of indirect selling that's gaining popularity. That is, if you have a product that meets the international demand, the standard demand, you can easily post your products to these platforms, and you can have a closer deal to customers where you make the sale. So in most of the time using this platform, the only work you have to do is to ensure that you do the supply, the shipping to the buyer. So most of these platforms requires you to subscribe to them. It may be a monthly subscription or annual subscription, where you subscribe to them and you pay a certain amount to expose your product to the buyer. Just like Jumia and Konga, this is how it works. Just like using Jumia and Konga, but eBay, Amazon, and Alibaba is an international e-commerce platform. So when people saw this product on this global platform, they are likely to make a purchase. So once they make the purchase, there are what we call escrow. The escrow receives the payment and hold the payment until the seller delivers the product to the buyer. So in indirect selling, the producer or seller deals directly with the foreign buyer. So when you are using these approaches, you are dealing directly with the person that is buying the product, not using agents anymore. But it's also important for you to consider whether you determine to market indirectly or market directly due to the level of financial resources your company is willing to devote to your international marketing effort. Why we talk about the financial resources is this: the exploitation business requires a lot of money. It requires you to secure the products or the goods or manufacture the products by yourself. It requires you to acquire the certain or the expected licenses that is needed from you. It also requires you to have developed exporting skills. It also requires you to learn a lot before you can be able to export successfully. But if you cannot, if you don't have the capacity, you can easily liaise with the export agents. We can have this deal for you. We can do this deal for you. Just at the end of the meeting, if you want to give us a deal, you can easily chat with me, or where I can offer you the deals that we have. If you can meet the criteria, we'll go into partnership. In this partnership, we take those products and do the export for you while you do the local supplies to us. So there are other different of approach to export. So other factors you need to consider when deciding whether to market your product indirectly or directly is: one, the size of your company; two, your tolerance for risk. How much are you willing to risk? Are you willing to risk much, or can you handle risk? So your tolerance for risk is another approach to the exportation. And also resources available to develop the market. Do you have the enough resources to develop your export market? And also the opportunity cost. What is it going to cost you to be able to have the opportunity you're looking for? Also the nature of your product or your service, because not all the products you have can be easily be exported. So the nature of your product or your service is part of the export. Please, if you are just joining us, please mute your audio. Just mute your audio, please. So it's also part of the what you need to consider. When you have considered all these things, you now discover that there's a lot you need to learn. Also, the previous export experience and expertise. Have you ever been able to acquire the experience and the expertise that you need? And also the business conditions in the selected export market that you want. For instance, you want to send your product to Canada, places like Canada or USA. What are the conditions of receiving the product there? Because there is a time someone wants to send the product, but the place is still under restriction due to COVID-19. So is the condition conducive enough for you? These are the things the factors that you need to consider if you are deciding to sell your product directly or indirectly. But for me, I always say that selling indirectly is the easiest way anybody that is new can get started. With that, the profits you make, you can easily use them to build your capacity. And it can also increase your curiosity. It can also increase your passion towards the trade. So there are things that we talked about here. Agents. Number one method is by the use of agents. The use of agent, which is an export-import agent. This is that they simply do this. You buy your orders from domestic buyers, who then export the product. That is sending your products to agents. So these sales methods are one of the indisguisable from other domestic sales. Another part has decided that the product version needs foreign demand. So, for example, you have a product that meets the foreign demand. What do? You don't have the other things that you can do. Simply send the products to agents. The agents are the ones that will be responsible to take these products out for you and do the necessary things. All you have to do is to source for the product locally and go to get to bed and rest. Then the agent assumes all the risk and handles all the exporting details. So many companies take stronger interest in exporting when they discover that their product is already being sold overseas. So as you see, all this little known fact is that many exporters in Nigeria are using this approach and they are cashing out big time. So if you are using this strategy, you will now learn that how many people are using this approach to cash out big in Nigeria. Many people that you see that are calling themselves exporters are not actually exporting directly, but this approach at least is getting them closer to where they are going. It's getting them closer to how they want the trade to be. It's getting them closer because the more they export, the more experience they have, the more they learn about the market, and the more they can be able to learn a little more and more things how the market is going. So if you can be able to use the agent, I will advise you to do so. So because it's going to increase your passion and it's going to increase your desire to go into the export market. So, but if you can't and you still want to go ahead by selling directly, always remember there are a lot of things that you need to consider and put in place first before your product can be able to leave the shores of Nigeria or any other African country or any country to another country. So we look at the next thing here. Two secondary things you need to consider is seeking domestic buyers who represent foreign end users or customers. Just like what I just mentioned before, in many corporations like general contractors, foreign trading companies, foreign government agencies, foreign distributors, retailers, and others in Nigeria, they purchase for export. So these buyers constitute a large market size. These people are the large constitute a large market size in a variety of businesses. So in this approach, your company may know whether this product is being exported, but the domestic buyers still assume the risk and handle the details of exporting. So in this approach, you have to look for these people that are going to buy your product that represent some countries or the corporations or general contractors. So what they do is this: you reach out to them and send the product to them, but you're going to bear the whole risk. Unlike when you use agents that have to handle the risk of the exporting. So another way is exporting directly through intermediaries. How can you be able to export directly through intermediaries? Is in this way, international consultants, they handle the logistics, everything that is involved in return for a fee, in return for a charge. So as your product is selling via these e-commerce platforms, you're going to get notification to the store and then send you their payment. That is, you send the products and they are receiving the payments. When you are out of stock, they will now pay you the money for all the products you have sent, and they will now be able to pay you again. You now have to restock again. So another option is that they sell via the site and you do the shipping. This is just simple like what Jumia, Konga is doing in Nigeria. But what I'm talking about here is international platforms like eBay, Amazon, Alibaba. Most of the products you see that people are selling in those places, they are not already bought, but they send it to this company, and this company does the advertisements, this company does the shipping, and also this company does everything that will ensure that the sale has gotten successfully. Then what they do is that once it's out of stock, they notify you, then you have to restock them again, and they have to pay you for the one you have stocked already. So in this approach, if you can offer credit facility, you can be able to do the exporting business in this approach, not minding the bogus means of starting exporting. So there are types of export intermediaries, as you can see in the pictures there. We have export management companies, we have international trade companies like just like Logisport. There's the company I belong to, and we also have manufacturers or agents. We also have manufacturers, export agents. I also have export import brokers. I also have freight forwarders. So these are intermediaries that can assist you in getting your product set indirectly through intermediaries. So now you are exporting directly. You decided that you want to export your product directly. So how will you do that? How will you do this by exporting directly your product? So in this approach, this is the most ambiguous and challenging aspect of exporting, because here your company handles every aspect of the exporting process, from market research to planning to foreign distribution to payment collections. All the necessary risk, your company handles all the risk involved. So a significant commitment of management time and attention is required to achieve good results if you decide to export directly So I hope we have learned something in this phase. And what we have gotten here is that two ways to export your product. These two ways are what? Selling indirectly or exporting directly. Exporting indirectly is by using export agents or intermediaries to sell your product. What does they do? You supply them the products and they handle all the exporting risk. Then what they do is that they send you your payment. Why? If you decide to sell directly, that means you have to look for the buyer, you have to prepare all the necessary documents, you have to assume all the risk, you have to do your market research to know where you're selling to, you're exporting to, and everything that has to connect with exporting your product. If you choose to export directly. And I hope that today in this short video, in this short lesson, we have already been able to grab some things. So next thing you need to understand is to nurture your relationships. When you have already secured an export agent, maybe you are dealing indirectly or directly, and you have already a secure agent that you supply your product on a monthly basis. The next thing you have to do is to nurture those relationships with the company. Unlike when you nurture a relationship with the company, you know what business relationship is. Imagine when you are getting a monthly supplies of 1 ton, 2 tons, 3 tons, even if you are using 500 naira per unit profit, that's a big lot of profit for whatever you supply to them. So it's another a better way for you to be at a safer side if you can't handle the risk. Remember, I talk about handling risk here. If you can't handle the risk, let them handle this while you be on the super side. Then you nurture a relationship with them because other bidders will be bidding. The same products you are bidding, other bidders are bidding. Just currently that we have a palm oil supply deal, we have a palm oil exporting deal, and this palm oil is going to India, Kolkata Port, India, and they are looking at a 25 feet container monthly supply. So the export company, the management company, what we do is that we open the deal for any vendor that is interested in partnering with us. They have to supply us a minimum quantity and they have to offer us a minimum credit facility. So if they can handle the deal, we are in to partner with them and proceed with the businesses. So these are one of the ways. So imagine when this deal continues, let's say 1 year, and if every month you're making minimum of 200K per profit, that's a little start. With that little start, you can be able to nurture your ambition and prepare everything necessary for you to prepare, do your market research, because already you know that the product you're sending is selling in international market. So you do your market research and you can be able to get the information of everything that you need. So another thing the next consider is to optimize your sales. So once you have started sending these products across, you have to optimize your sale. If you are doing your supplies, know when you're supposed to restock because another order is coming. The companies don't like when they say, okay, we need your supplies, and you are now posting them, trying to buy time. It's a cut. It cuts the flow of the sales. It cuts the flow of the sales because the delay is there. It cuts the flow of the sales. So you optimize your sale. Take charge of your sales by analyzing everything that you have to do. Take a calendar, know when you have already supplied, and know the expected time you are expected to restock your product. Then from there, you can easily grow your business. And once you grow your business, you have set up everything that you need to start exporting a product through the easiest means or the easiest approach. So once this is done, you can be glad that you have been able to start somewhere because this was actually how I started exporting a product. I didn't start by exporting directly, but I was started by sending my products to companies that export directly. So next thing you have to do is to reply to request for quotation. Currently, we have sent some people to send their quotations. You have to respond to those RFQ. The RFQ is a request for quotation. That's what the RFQ is. The RFQ is a request for quotation. So once you can be able to do these things, you are in for the trade. Then you have to be checking your mail to reply to the quotations that was sent to you. So we will be stopping here for today, and I hope that we have getting a little insight into the program of exporting. So with the little insight and knowledge we have, you can ask me your questions in the group one after the other, where I can be able to take my time and answer each and every one of us in the various groups that we belong. Please, I would like to make this clear. If you have sent me a message and I haven't replied, just bear with me because I do have a lot of messages, a lot of inquiries, a lot of chats that comes up that almost every week I used to delete about 200 chats. So that is the flow of what I'm handling. And by the grace of God, I will still be strong to do much more than I can. I hardly sleep. That's why you see my eyes looking tiny. It's because that's what we do. So it's going to give me joy. Every testimony I used to receive used to give me joy, and it used to boost my morale and passion to do what I kept doing for each and every one of us. So I'm going to end this forum so that we can be able to go back to our respective groups and ask our questions and ask